Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AskPrep. Today, we are exploring one of the most pivotal roles in Indian governance, the Prime Minister, through Article 75 of the Indian Constitution. In this video, we will cover Introduction to Article 75 of the Indian Constitution, Appointment of the Prime Minister, Tenure and Conditions of the Prime Minister's Office, Responsibilities and Powers of the Prime Minister, Collective Responsibility and Cabinet Formation under Article 75, Prime Minister's role in parliamentary proceedings, Significance of Article 75 in Indian democracy, Key Supreme Court judgments on Article 75. Now let's start from the first point, Introduction to Article 75 of the Indian Constitution. Article 75 is a key provision in the Indian Constitution concerning the Prime Minister's appointment, powers, and responsibilities. It outlines the role of the Prime Minister as the head of the Council of Ministers. The article reinforces India's parliamentary democracy by defining the Prime Minister's relationship with the President and the Cabinet. The Prime Minister is pivotal in government policy, administration, and legislative matters. Article 75 emphasizes the principles of collective responsibility within the government. This provision underlines the importance of stable leadership and accountability in governance. Now let's talk about the second point, appointment of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is appointed by the President of India, as outlined in Article 75. Usually, the leader of the majority party in the Lok Sabha is chosen for the role. If no party holds a majority, the President may invite the leader most likely to command support. The Prime Minister's appointment is vital to form a stable government. This role signifies the connection between the executive and legislative branches in a parliamentary system. The appointment process underscores the importance of democratic majority and stability. Now let's talk about the third point, tenure and conditions of the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister serves at the President's pleasure, meaning tenure depends on majority support. There is no fixed term. The Prime Minister remains in office as long as they have majority support in the Lok Sabha. Resignation, a no-confidence vote, or loss of majority can end the Prime Minister's tenure. The Prime Minister's office ensures that the head of government remains accountable to the people's representatives. Conditions prevent misuse of executive power and encourage democratic accountability. Now let's talk about the fourth point, responsibilities and powers of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister leads the Council of Ministers and coordinates government policies and actions. He or she advises the President on crucial matters, including appointments and national emergencies. The Prime Minister represents India domestically and internationally. He/she plays a central role in formulating national policies, setting legislative agendas, and ensuring their execution. This role includes overseeing ministries, guiding ministers, and maintaining government unity. Now let's talk about the fifth point, collective responsibility and cabinet formation under Article 75. Article 75 enshrines the principle of collective responsibility within the cabinet. The Prime Minister selects cabinet members, subject to the President's approval. Collective responsibility ensures that the entire cabinet is accountable to the Lok Sabha. All ministers are bound by cabinet decisions, promoting unity and avoiding conflicts. The Prime Minister's role in cabinet formation strengthens government coherence. This principle ensures that government policies are backed by unified support. Now let's talk about the sixth point, Prime Minister's role in parliamentary proceedings. The Prime Minister represents the government's stance on major legislative matters in Parliament. He/she is responsible for introducing bills, explaining policies, and defending decisions. The Prime Minister's participation in debates and sessions upholds transparency and accountability. Her presence in Parliament reflects the government's commitment to democratic principles. The Prime Minister addresses issues raised by members, bridging the executive-legislative gap. Now let's talk about the 7th point: significance of Article 75 in Indian democracy. Article 75 embodies the essence of a parliamentary democracy, ensuring democratic accountability. It establishes the framework for appointing and holding the Prime Minister and ministers accountable. The article underscores the balance of power among the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Collective responsibility ensures the government remains answerable to the Lok Sabha. This provision protects against authoritarianism by emphasizing majority support for the Prime Minister. If you found this video informative, then write it down, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss more important videos in the future.